Hi, my name is Terry Pitcher, and I want to welcome you to have a seat at my table. Life isn't neat, it isn't quiet, and it's not predictable. Sometimes it brings grief, and sometimes it brings changes that we've never asked for. And sometimes, in the middle of that, God asks us to sit, breathe, and remember we don't have to walk this journey alone. I chose the name because at the table is where my life happens. It's where I laugh, it's where I cry, it's where I pray, it's where I pay bills, it's where I question people. And it's about trying to have hope and faith again. It's where I sit with Jesus in the mornings. And sometimes it's an unfamiliar place, but it's becoming more and more familiar and more cozy as we sit. And it's where I found my footing again, slowly, gently, one breath at a time. So here at this table, we show real life stories, real faith, real healing. Some days we're going to laugh and some days we're going to cry. But every day we're going to choose perfection over shame. So pull up a chair and be a guest at my table. Be whole. We're going to be intentional, and I want you to be you. So when someone in your life changes, you have to change too. When you talk about grief, most people think about of loss and death, but there's a whole other kind of grief. Most of the kind of grief that we don't want to talk about. It's the grief of a living person. When someone you live with is still here in your home and in your life, but they're not the same person that they were or that you once wanted to be with. And we have to have a new heart language and we have to have a new heart. That's where my journey is with my husband, Ron. I have to grieve who he was, but yet love who he is. And that doesn't come easy and it doesn't come with a guidebook. And let me tell you, every day it's a struggle. Every day it has to be daily, tender, and intentional. And it can be confusing. And it causes me to grow in places I don't even want to sometimes. And I never thought I'd be asked to. And that's when I had to enter my brain work. I had to bring my faith and my neuroscience together. So the things I knew and the things I've been working with my whole life and my husband can come together. So knowing that his brain wasn't working the way it was, I needed to learn how to talk to him and how to work with him the way his brain would work. That journey led me to Amy Rosner, a workshop where I was able to take words and use them where they were put into your mind the proper way to bring positive words to light all the time. And that's what's going to help you get into a mindset of change, right? So I thought, okay, let's do this. I didn't want it for the title. I wanted it to be part of my survival, honestly. And it was great because most people looked at me and said, how could you be grieving? Your husband's here. Oh, you're blessed. I am blessed every day, but it is a challenge every day. I still had to show up for him. I still had to show up for me, and I still had to do what I had to do, and I had to know where I was and where my position was, and still had to live up a life for what God called me to do, and even though it wasn't my assignment. So this podcast is to learn to breathe again and to know that you're not alone and that we can walk this together. We have to heal, we have to grow, we have to rise, but talking about what the issues is and what the issue is where we need to start. So grief isn't always about losing a person. Sometimes it's about losing a version of yourself, right? And there is a grief that comes with